I'm going to tell you a story that starts with grief, something we all feel, but we often don't want to acknowledge. We don't want to admit. We don't want to face it. It's a story that started with grief and loss and evolved into legacy and commemoration. It's the story of my parents passing. A year and a half ago, both of my parents passed in rapid succession, a few months after each other. And it devastated me. It took my world away. I'm an only child from a very small family, and my parents meant the world to me. My mom passed away from Alzheimer's and dementia, and my dad passed away from heart failure. And both of those chronic illnesses run in my family. But I figure even if it is my genetic legacy to forget, even if it's my genetic legacy to have a faulty, broken heart, I have to make sure that my parents, who are now my ancestors, are never forgotten. And in the missing of them, as I sat in our home and looked around and the silence was deafening, I started to see what was there. There were letters, there were books, there were photos, scrapbooks, little notes from cards of birthdays and anniversaries past. And all of that helped me realize what they left me was their stories. My mom, I found out through reading one of her diaries. It's okay, I can read her diary now. All is good, all is fair. In her early teens, was a daredevil. She grew up in Chocolate City, Washington, D.C., with two sisters and a brother, and she liked riding motorcycles, forbiddenly riding motorcycles. And she rode motorcycles with her siblings, and they crashed into the neighbor's basement on several occasions. The same neighbor, the same basement, like 3 times. Wild. My dad, I found out later through corresponding with his alma mater, that he was a student activist in the civil rights era. And he fought alongside other Black student activists to establish the first African American Studies department at Harvard University. And he received a W.E.B. Du Bois Award for this work. Never knew that about him. And as I started to look through the house, I realized more and more, in addition to their stories, they had been collecting for a lifetime. My dad was a professor, a scholar of Black history, an author, and a genealogist. My mom was an artist, an educator, and had deep faith in Christian roots. And over their lifetime, they collected all of this art and this history and these books and photographs and memorabilia that we are still counting up, but we're estimating it's between 7,000 and 8,000 items in this archive. And that is part of the story they left, not just of their lives, but honoring your ancestors and mine, honoring human history, global majority cultures. My dad also spent time as a psychologist. There's a lot of books about mental health, well-being, balance, and all of this they left to me. And so I decided, if I take the skills I have, I'm a museum curator, among other things, and if I put that to work, how do I fuse the archive and make that the fuel to keep the legacy going? So I decided to start a cultural center, a new type of center that would go to where people are, share the archive, put on performances and pop-up exhibits, bring in art therapy and other creative means to help people heal. And that is how Diaspora DNA Story Center has been born. And I'll tell you something, we were so excited just this past weekend to do our first major pop-up in the world. I'm a former UArts professor. Shout out to everyone here in the UArts family. Yes, yes. And we were able to be a part of this past weekend's UArts Celebration of Life, where the real estate developer that acquired the property welcomed everyone back, faculty, students, alumni, anyone in the city of Philadelphia and beyond, to come celebrate the creative community that lasted for hundreds of years in that space. And we took over Hamilton Hall, and we bought our signature programming of art therapy and archives and helping people trace and feel the vibrancy of their heritage. And whether they were faculty or students or onlookers, everyone was laughing and crying and feeling and dancing and sharing poetry and making art and honoring their ancestors and mine. And I tell you, this work is spirit-led. I tell you that my parents are up there in the heavens making a path for this. It's not easy to start anything in this world, much less a nonprofit, much less a mobile nonprofit that goes to where people are and tries to help them with art and healing and story. But that is what my parents started, and that's what they put in my heart to continue. So in terms of the time being now, don't wait to tell your story. Don't wait to hug your loved ones close. Don't wait another moment, because you can use your sorrow and transform that into your strength. Thank you.